inshaAllah, that Mawlana Shaykh's teaching that the first pillar of Islam is the Shahada. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu Muhammadan Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Mawlana Shaykh asks always that why Allah to ask from the first pillar that why you have to testify and say, I bear witness, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Well, Allah doesn't know if you believe or not. I mean, even just the door of belief, something that we may take for granted and everybody repeats, that these awliya come into our lives and begin to teach, that begin to contemplate. That if the first pillar, the first door, the first step is bearing witness and out loud to yourself, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that Allah reminding that I don't need it. I don't need your shahada. I don't even need to hear from you. I know what's in your heart. I created you, and what you say from your mouth is nothing compared to what's in your heart. And none closer to you than your vein. So it sums for us when we begin to contemplate Allah, Prophet Mawlana Shaykh, all of them, Atiullah, Atiya Rasul, ulul amri minkum, reminding us that we do what we do for ourselves. It's not for Allah. Allah saying the first pillar of your belief, I don't even need it. I know what's in your heart. If you believe or not, you can fool other people, but you can't fool my Divinely Presence. You need to remind yourself on a day by day, minute by minute belief and moment. It's even in our salah, even in our azan, Allah making us to testify, not because Allah needs it. So it means everything, what we say, the tariqah is built on adab. And the adab is the eloquence and like walking on eggshells. Very delicate. If you're like an elephant, you're going to crush everything and miss everything. Tariqah is like a, you can't say ballet because there's no dancing. What's the word for subtle? So subtle. So amazingly intricate. They come and teach that just the first step, Allah wanting us to testify, but remember He doesn't need it. He knows everything. So then who needs this testimony? I need it. I need to constantly remind myself. There is nothing but Allah and His Messenger Sayyidina Muhammad. And we follow the way of Sayyidina Muhammad to take us towards the Divinely Presence of Allah. Then if the first step and the first door is a reminder from myself, then everything is based on that. That Allah says, I don't need your testimony, I don't need your salah, I don't need your zakah, I don't need your psalm, and most definitely I don't need your hajj. Don't make Allah stronger, doesn't make Allah weaker, doesn't make Allah hungrier, poorer, stuff Allah. That nothing affects Allah. And always reminder from myself is Allah reminding, Prophet teaching and reminding, inspiring within the heart. You are in need of that. You are in need to constantly remind yourself what is your purpose on this earth. That there is nothing but Allah and seek the way of Muhammadan Rasulullah. That you pray because I don't need you to pray, but you pray to give a tarbiyah and obedience to yourself. You pay and give zakat, not because I need it, but because you need it. You need to pray, you need to remember me, you need to fast, you need to give hajj, you need to do everything as a reminder for yourself to reach my Divinely rida and satisfaction. Because if we don't remind the adab, the adab, the adab, in a second shaitan's whole industry of shaitan is to take away adab. Every video, every song, every music, everything around us, from every person and every billboard, is to take away good manners. And in 1 second, the manner is gone, the character has changed, and then now we begin to think, Allah maybe needs me to testify that I'm praying and Allah is now happy I'm praying. Allah then reminding, Mawlana Shaykh reminding, Prophet reminding, all of them is inspiring within our hearts. No, you don't know what that testimony may take away of difficulty, because you need it and I love you. Means the relationship begins to change. The relationship, when you begin to have a family and children, you understand, if your child doesn't eat and you tell your child, I'm going to punish you if you don't eat, what on earth do you care if he doesn't eat that you would have to punish him? You don't get any satisfaction out of punishing the person because they're not eating. It's not going into your belly, it's going into their belly. But the concern is that if you don't eat, you are harming yourself. You're going to put yourself into difficulty, and that's going to cause mere sadness. And Allah then reminding, I don't want you to be in difficulty. I don't want hardship and harm to come to you. I created you out of my divinely love, not so this world will beat you, smash you, crush you and destroy you, and imprison you and abuse you. You see what people are doing to each other if you watch TV? Unbelievable how much they're torturing and how much they're doing. And Allah reminding, this is not why you are created. Means that everything we are doing is for ourselves. And always reminding, Ya Rabbi, make me my shahada because I need it. That at every moment we have to remember our faith and that we're losing our faith. At every second from our descent onto this dunya, we are losing our faith. An extreme ocean of difficulty surrounding, and every difficulty as it's approaching, people are losing faith, losing their interest, losing their desire. And Mawlana Shaykh began to inspire that at every moment repeat your shahada because you are in need of it. You are in need to remember there is nothing but Allah and seek the satisfaction of Sayyidina Muhammad. You are in need to pray because you don't know what type of bala is headed your way. Don't think you prayed enough. The one prayer that you make may stop a train from hitting you outside the door. You don't know you're stepping and what was coming your way, and you did an action in Allah's divinely way, something was lifted. You could have been meant to be killed today, but because you did something, that action was diverted. Like an instant. Watch a movie about train tracks. Means they can switch the line in a second, where it looks like two trains are headed for each other and there's a track. In an instant the track just moves and the train goes this way. Means every ni'mat, every blessing in Allah's way for us to begin to understand there has been a destiny written for us. You're going to be in this incident, you're going to be in this calamity, you're going to be under this type of attack, you're going to be under this, written that qismat. And when Allah loves, He sends to the way of Sayyidina Muhammad. When Sayyidina Muhammad really loves, He inspires you to follow ulul amri minkum. And the ulul amr, these very high level ones, Mawlana Shaykh Hisham Qabbani Qaddasallahu Siru, Qutub al-Mutasarif, under the flag of Sultan and Awliya, Shaykh Nazimiyya, they are reading the preserved tablets and they see what's on that track coming. And they send isharat, they send du'as. Ya Rabbi, we're seeing that difficulty. Inspire from Ummat Muhammad that good actions, inspire them to make a little bit more zikr, inspire them now to make their shahada, inspire them to pray now, to read dalal khirat now, to give now. Everything they're seeing, they're inspiring. Every inspiration, when we follow it and move, because it's the ocean of ittiba. Islam is obedience, is ittiba. As much as we are following these guides, they are taking us into the ocean of submission. As much as we submit, we are diverting these calamities, these difficulties. We don't see them. It's a policy. You're buying a protection. By being under their flag, by being under their inspirations, they inspire you. And many have had, you give, you walk out the door, a train or a bus hit the person. They were destined to die in that calamity. It was written that they were going to die. But because of what they did and the action that they did may have been pleasing to Allah Azza and Allah Azza says, I can write and erase whatever I want. Nobody can put any type of limit on Allah Azza. Nobody writing, awliya are not writing, Allah Azza writing. Awliya Allah, pious people, good servants of Allah Azza, they inspire merely, do good. Do your zikr, do your awrad, read dalal al-khirat, do all these things. You don't know which difficulty it's removing. And that instant something coming and Allah Azza happy and the truck moves and takes a different direction. In just an instant. And you can see a smashed car, it looks most definitely somebody is dead in there. And the tariqah, they come out, not even a scratch onto their bodies. And we've seen many people. We also have many people who have been hit by trucks, hit by train, hit by other cars. And many calamities within their lives. Because those were already written. But because of the good action, what type of weight does one Mawlid al-Nabi have in Allah's divine presence? Unimaginable. Just sitting and making salawat on Prophet in a jama'ah, in a day and in a jahiliyyah, on a place on earth where nobody remembering Prophet, what type of weight that has in Allah's divine presence? As much as you try to think, it's beyond that. Mawlana Shaykh says, as much as you're trying to imagine the glorification of Prophet of what Allah's love for Sayyidina Muhammad is, it's beyond what you can imagine. We are a creation. Allah created. What good actions and what type of difficulties they take away from our lives. Forget about talking about all the blessings, because the blessings people have less belief in because they're not seeing it. If this was like a lottery office where you can give $1,000 every time somebody sits down, they would know. They say, okay, I see the blessings. Every time I sit here, I get very rich. I go home very happy. These are unseen blessings. People say, I don't know about unseen blessings. Then let's focus on the difficulty that you are seeing and the calamities that are all around. That is the barakah of tariqah that takes away these. As long as we follow their inspirations, as long as we increase our worshipness, increase our practices, increase everything that we're doing, because Allah doesn't need it. But He is inspiring us a whole new salawat book based on forgiveness. If that doesn't scare you, then we don't know what does. All the salawats are all asking istighfar from calamity and difficulty. That we don't know what we're reciting, we probably don't even care to recite it, astaghfirullah. Just looking at it like, yeah, who cares? But just its recitation from the tongue, even it's not correct, because kullun amalun bin niyat, that just making, Ya Rabbi, I'm practicing to move my tongue however way you want me to move, it's enough to be written onto the heart and the angels to write it on the book, And the weight of that book is not something the angels can balance. It's beyond their hisab. Because the amal that the angels can balance must be from our amal. But when you say, Inna Allahi wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, means that when we make salawat on Prophet Allah gives the response. All of these are salawat and durood on Sayyidina Muhammad. Its weight and reward given by Allah. What type of calamities and difficulties these will take from our lives, and sicknesses will take from our lives. People are unaware of what is in that ocean and what is moving from that ocean into this area. And they're hiding it and they're not talking about it. And 6 nuclear reactors have emptied all their waste into that ocean. And they say the entire sea population, they know because they're swimming this way. The huge schools of whales, of walruses, of seals, of fish, all migrating out. They say all the starfish are dying, all the sardines are dead. These are the lowest chain. They go to the bottom to eat. Whatever waste was thrown onto the water, it goes to the bottom. That's why we're forbidden from eating the bottom fish, because they eat the garbage. The shrimp is makruh, it's not haram, but preferred not to eat from the bottom feeder. I mean, what type of difficulties, what type of calamities, from that ocean, from that contamination, what type of rain is raining down? And how Allah can shield it. If Allah finds an action that He is rida with and satisfied with. What type of good amal that we do, that Allah provides a protection, that even that rain falls on your head, you don't get more than a cold. Even you eat from something contaminated, that barakah and that blessing is a shifa and a healing and takes everything away. But because people lack in faith, they view with eyes of dunya. If they see a bag of rice in the place of zikr, they say, oh, is this $2 too much? And that $2 at Costco can never help you. Has no shifa, no healing compared to a rice that's zikr, or water that you bring at the zikr and at the mawlid the Nabi. How can you compare the healing and the power and the blessings of that unto what's coming? Do you think it's the medicine that you take that heals you? Or that Allah granting a permission for that to heal? Allah has to grant that that medicine will help you. In the last days, Prophet described that that rahmah would be taken from earth, that nothing will work. And so every antibiotic that they've made, they've had to make stronger, 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 until now there are some that work on nothing. That day is now here. Where Allah if not giving permission, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, lift it. If Allah gives no permission, you can put 40 pills in your mouth and nothing going to happen. If Allah granted permission, just dua enough, take everything away. Fever drop, sickness gone. If Allah give a permission, and if Allah happy. These are the days of faith that we're entering in. The days of faith require actions. Never be satisfied with the action of your past. Action of your past, open the past. To be safe in the future is the action of what's coming in the future. Don't rely on what you did in the past, that got you to where you are. But to go through the doors that are coming, it's the future amal. As soon as we know that and believe in that, they inspire within us, do more, do more.